Hello, citizens of Earth, I presume. Welcome back to another fantastic list type of video. Perhaps you're scrolling through YouTube looking for something to print for yourself. Perhaps you're looking for something to print for someone else this holiday season. Well, we're gonna go over my favorite 3D printable games that I've come across recently. These are all very easy to print and very fun to play, so let us get into it. First up, we have Zigzagration. Kinda looks a little bit like Connect 4, but it's played a little different. No, come back. This game can be played either with 2 players or perhaps 3 or 4 players. The rules are a little different depending on how many people that are playing. If you have 2 players, each player uses 2 colors. If you have 3 or 4 players, each player gets their own color. The way it works is that players take turns adding tokens to this Zaggravation type contraption here. Don't roll away on me until all of the tokens are used. The goal is to try to get as many of your colored tokens touching each other, while simultaneously attempting to block your opponent from doing the same. You need about twice as many of these. I didn't print enough, but you get the idea. The final scores are determined by the longest touching chain of each color for each player. If you're playing with 2 players, you're gonna add the length of the longest chain for both the colors, and if there's a tie, the player that went second in play is gonna be the winner. Pretty fun, and it's cool to watch these things drop down on their zigzaggy way. I keep dropping these stupid things. Next up is a fun strategy / mechanically oriented game called Gearz. This is a 2-player game. Each player has 7 normal gears and 1 master gear denoted by a little arrow on there. You could probably print it in a different color to make it easier to spot. The master gears always begin in the same location, and all the rest of the gears are on the player's home row. Players move their gears 1 space at a time in any direction unless they are directly blocked by another piece. Players are allowed to move diagonally. The goal is to attempt to link your master gear to your opponent's master gear via any combination of either player's gears, while trying to prevent them from doing the same thing to you first. I don't know if this is a realistic board position, but it'll get the point across. Once a player believes that they have made a solid connection from their master gear to the opponent's master gear, they may attempt to turn their gear. If you are on the offensive, you can turn your master gear in any direction, but this is where the arrows come into play. If you turn your gear in the correct way, your opponent's gear will rotate forwards along with their arrow, and you have won the game. However, if you judge incorrectly and you rotate your gear in the wrong direction, bad news, buckaroo, you just lost the game. And so did I. Next up is a game called Tetrad. This one is really cool because it comes with its own printable box. You can kind of think of this one like tic-tac-toe if tic-tac-toe didn't suck. Gameplay is very simple. There are a jumble of pieces, and each of the pieces, while unique in and of themselves, all share similar characteristics with other multiple pieces. Either both pieces are double high, or both pieces are the same shape, or both pieces are the same color. Either way, the object is to place pieces one at a time until you connect on the grid 4 pieces sharing any similar characteristic. And in and of itself, that's a pretty fun idea, but there is a twist. You do not get to select which pieces you put down. Your opponent does. Pretty dang fun game. Very similar to tic-tac-toe, but it's a lot more fun. It takes a lot longer to play, and you can't Google how to win every time. Next up is a very cleverly designed version of the Nordic game of Hnefatafl Viking chess.
Hnefatafl, pronounced with a silent H, literally translates as fist table.
There you go. No, don't watch that guy's video, watch this one. Now this game is pushing 1,500 years old. This game was invented around 400 AD or CE, I guess it depends if you celebrate Christmas or Toyotathon. And it is a precursor to chess, but it's a lot more simple to play, it's a lot more fast to play, and I think, because I'm not that smart, it's a lot more fun to play. Now the rules for this game are pretty open to interpretation as it's super old and no one really remembers the original rules, but the commonly accepted play goes something like this. Your board can kind of be as big as you want or as small as you want. Commonly accepted size is about 13 by 13. The center square and each corner are marked with an X, and only the king the one different piece of the game can occupy either the center or any of those four corners. The king begins in the center with the goal of making it to any of those corners. Now the defending player moves first, and any piece may move any number of spaces, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, just like a queen in modern chess. If a player maneuvers two of these, let's call them pawns, maneuver two pawns into two spaces on either side of an opposing pawn, that opposing pawn is captured and removed from play. If the king is captured, the defender wins. If the king makes it to one of the corners, the king wins. Pretty fun, pretty fast. Pretty much need to make your own board for it, which I haven't done, which is why you saw a lot of B-roll just now. I chose to get a little creative with these pieces. I don't know if it worked out too good, but these are actually printed in glow-in-the-dark PLA, and then this one's printed in like a shiny black, kind of pearlescent PLA, the name of which I have forgotten. But I think they came out pretty darn cool looking. They kind of shimmer in the light, kind of look like, crystals, like white women buy to make themselves feel special. Speaking of inanimate objects making us feel special, let's get on to our last game. This is a 3D printable version of Pocket83's Hexagonal Iso Path game. If you don't know Pocket83, he's a YouTuber, he machines things, he designs things, he's a genius. And he created this game, which is, by all accounts, just a masterpiece of gameplay design. Now, I'm not going to go into too terribly much detail about gameplay just here, because it's a little bit complicated, and also Pocket83 himself has made an entire video about this game, and it even provides documentation, all for free, so I will point you over that way, but suffice it to say, the object of the game is to move one of the player's four stones or dudes across the board to the opposing base. Here's the rules. Look, see, it's like numbers are involved. It's above my pay grade. I don't know how to do math. Anyway, you can check out Pocket83's video where he goes over all the gameplay intricacies. Not that there's terribly many, but it's pretty interesting. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do like making these videos, and you guys seem to like watching them, so if you have any other ideas for categories of things that you can 3D print that I could, put together for you, let me know, and maybe I'll do that again in the future, and definitely get subscribed so that you can see it when it happens. And yeah, that's it. See you later.